You trans?
Do I look trans?
But you're queer, right?
No, I'm gay.
We wanted Augustine to have a new job, like he has to have a job because he needs some money, but also he needs some kind of self-worth. And I think what's interesting about this job is it's not somewhere we would expect him to work.
One of our writers, Roberto, had had some experiences working in a shelter. He brought that to the room and sparked an interesting idea. We visited the real Larkin Street shelter, and that became a starting point for us.
We put a casting call out to kids that are transitioning or have transitioned, and there was a moment when I looked through all the audition tapes that we had for all the kids that ended up being in the shelter. It was really incredible listening to their stories and listening to how strong they are and how determined they are to be the people they want to be. When you hit some kind of rock bottom, you do want to sort your life out, and I think it is about Augustine trying to sort his life out.
Hi.
Hi. I love the scene where Dom shows up at the house and Matthew is there. Dom and Lynn have agreed on this open relationship, but they haven't really set the rules entirely. So when Dom shows up and Matthew's there, it throws him for a loop.
The Dom and Lynn dynamic is kind of complicated and messy. I think Lynn is definitely holding back on the relationship. He feels like he's had his grand, great love affair with Brian. They were together a long, long time. And Lynn has kind of shut down the possibility of finding someone that can compare to Brian. And I think that's sad on Lynn's behalf, really, and I think Dom realises that. But for Dom, he wants someone that's going to be fully into this relationship as much as he wants to be.
Oh God, all these people posting about Esta Noche. They're so right. San Francisco is so over.
Oh, relax. Come on, you went there once, okay? And I love it too, but it's a shithole.
Esta Noche has a real significance in this show because it's where Patrick and Richie first meet at the end of the pilot. Esta Noche is a real bar in San Francisco. It's kind of a landmark. It's been around forever. It's sort of a cornerstone of the Latino gay community in San Francisco.
I think it's just got a lot of history, Esta Noche. It's been there a long time, and it is closing. And in fact, it has already closed when we were shooting, which was very sad to all of us and to a lot of people in San Francisco. So I think we just wanted to kind of mark that occasion a little bit and kind of recreate a closing night there.
By the time we were shooting Esta Noche, the place had been gutted, so we didn't shoot the interior at the real Esta Noche. We found a bar that had a similar layout, and our production designer Todd Felstead and set deck Ryan Watson did an amazing job of recreating it. I defy anyone to tell the difference.
Why did you even come here? I'm sure it was for you, to be with you.
When we did the affair storyline, there is always a danger that you're going to start hating, well, both of them really, for being in such a ridiculous situation. But we didn't want anyone to think that Kevin was a monster. Kevin is clearly struggling with what to do. He loves John, but he's completely falling for Patrick. And so it's not an easy situation to be in.
I think Kevin has an ability to compartmentalize a lot of things, maybe in a way that Patrick doesn't. So I think he's very sure of himself that it's going to work out one way or another. And then when he has to face the reality of it, it's a lot harder than he thought.
I think my favorite scene is that final scene between the two of them in Esta Noche. I feel like he finally realizes that he can't do this anymore, and he's not prepared to live a lie. He's lived a lie too many times in his life. You know, he was in the closet all those years ago, and he's not prepared to do that again.
I think that everyone has that experience of that moment when you think it's all coming together, and then it's the opposite of what you thought it was. It's just this intense, heartbreaking disappointment. It's just so sad and somehow satisfying to see Patrick just walk out of that bar and into the night.